start this out. 3 months ago,
Right.
I'm sitting here in Evansville, Indiana.
Struggling.
Just start out like
Yeah.
that. So
Uh,
look at me.
sure. 3 months ago, we were sitting here, just got off of a tremendous construction deal going on, struggling, looking for daylight at the end of the tunnel, wasn't finding it. And fortunate for us, we had Steve Nicholson and the Nicholson Partners Group come in, and Tom brought them in. Tom was good friends with Steve, and to evaluate us. And he come in, and there was a lot of things that was broke, and there was a lot of things that had some substance to it, but we just wasn't there, and we wasn't on yet, and we still trying to pull out. We rode right off of that to the economy, and the economy was down, and we was doing more focusing on basically what everything else was doing, but other than what we was doing. And Steve come in, pretty much pointed in these things out to us, and did it professionally. Sometimes it hurt, but he come in, and I mean he just reviewed all departments, and all of our management staff and all of our people, and from front to back, and he gave us some great suggestions, and uh, he gave us some processes, and the processes that we put in place. I mean, we're seeing some was immediate results, some that we've had to take care of, and implement that are a little slow forthcoming. But now that it's here, we're seeing the results. One of the areas that we worked on was the service department, and implementing a walk around process. When Steve come in, he actually brought his personal vehicle in, and it was not a very good experience with the service. And you know, there again, we talk about lying to ourselves. Well, I was lying to myself, and thinking that we had these processes in place, and come to find out, we knew about them. We actually performed them occasionally, but not consistently with no type of process. And we come back in, and we did a full court press, and we implemented it with all the riders. We actually did some training with all the service riders. We got the service manager on board, and we got the assistant service manager on board, Chris, which is now our service manager. And we implemented, the walk around, the meet and greet. One of the things, as soon as and actually utilizing our service drive. Prior to Steve coming in, we actually let the people pull up outside, park, get out, and come in. We didn't even bring the vehicle into the building, and that was if it was raining or snowing or bad weather. That was still yet to process. He come in, looked at our situations, and I mean, we're not an ideal situation. We got a single drive through that we have, and so you can stack 3 cars in there back to back, and you can get 3 riders out there walking around 3 cars at one time, and that's exactly what we did. We brought them out, taught them how to do the walk arounds. When they start out, they got a porter that we actually put in place that will pull them in, pop the hood. He'll top off the coolant right in front of the customers. We'll get the basic information from the customers. The riders will actually take the customer, start out at the right rear quarter of the car, start checking, gauging the tires, go all the way around and check all 4 tires, and then move forward up to the engine compartment. They'll actually check the fluids and do a fluid check with the customer right there. They'll come back around, check the windshield wipers on the vehicle, and check the battery and battery post area to make sure there's no corrosion or anything there. And they do this right there in front of the customer. Customer sees what they're doing. They go ahead right there at that time, and they offer the maintenance packages. We're tied in with BG. Last 2 months in a row, we've been number one in the BG zones. We went from our service and parts departments, struggling to bust even or make just a little bit of money, to making $30,000 last month, just by putting a process in and making it happen 100% of the time. Another big key factor to that, for my part of it, working with the service manager, is doing a RO review. And we put a sheet together to where, we categorized, 5 different areas. One of, was its maintenance, was it recommended. Second one is, did the customer sign off that he did take the maintenance or he didn't take the maintenance. We also put on there whether it had an inspection or didn't have an inspection. We also put on there if the vehicle had we got emails because we're on emails now, and whether the service writer got an email or not. We also put on at the end. Now I completely forgot. Oh, here we go. We put on the end the tire measurements, making sure that we got tire measurements all the way around. So, what happens there is our maintenance, out of the organization now, we're in maintenance, we're 30 to 40% pretty consistently, which well above anybody else that's in our group. On our flushes, which is through BGs, we're running somewhere around mid-20s, low to mid-20s, which is, really strong. And also on our maintenance and our tars sales are up. Maintenance sales are up. Our flushes with the BG program, everything's up across the board. So we're really had huge results just by implementing and adhering to the processes that was put in place. And without a doubt, the first 3 or 4 weeks on it was a struggle. It was a lot of work, a lot of headache, a lot of stress, and we had a lot of belly aching going on. But after that, now we're to the point. Everybody's bought in now. Everybody's making more money. Service department, parts departments, $30,000 profit last month. Paced on doing the same thing again this month. Process works if you work it. The other part that we're really focused in on, and other than the service, was actually working in the used car department. And when Steve come in, unfortunately, there again, brutal honesty here. I hate it, but I got to admit it. He went out and did a little bit of a service walk with us, and there again, I was lying to myself once again, and thought our cars was front line ready. We go out there and get in the middle of the front line ready cars. It's December and snow and ice, and open up the first car and it wasn't there. I thought, damn man, we can't have two in a row. He opens up the next car. Hell, it was worse than the first car. We went to the third car, and I just told him stop, because I knew the next one was going to be just like the last one. We immediately made a decision that we needed a new process for making sure our stuff was frontline ready, and we had a good turn time on our used car inventory. So we went after that, and that was one of the first processes that we tackled, and we got all the parties involved. In the review, there's he did make a statement on there that he would replace the detail manager, and Matt, I'll just be straightforward with you. I let the detail manager read it. Believe it or not, I still got him, but he's doing a hell of a job now, thanks to Steve. But he brought some processes and paperwork to us, and we brought in, we got all the key people. We let them know what was expected. We put some hard processes in writing, what was expected, and one of the things was a lot walk, and the lot walk involves myself, the used car manager, sales manager. Salespeople are welcome to walk it with us, and our detail manager and our service manager. And every morning, Monday through Friday, we go out, we walk all the inbound used car inventory that comes in. We've got a book at the front. Whenever we trade for something, we notate it's a trade. We notate the date that it come in. We notate whether it's wholesale or retail, and we notate what we as managers, sales managers, thinks needs to be done. And if it's a buy unit or purchase unit, we notate it's a purchase unit, the date that we purchased it, and same information, whether it's a retail piece and what we think, what we know that it might need as done to the vehicle. We'll go out, we'll make a walk around the lot with this book in hands. Detail person, manager, he's got his paper copies of the same paperwork we have. The service manager's got the copy of the same paperwork that they have, and we go out and we walk the vehicles, and all of us look at them. And we do a visual, and if it needs touched up, we got a company that's AirTech comes in and does the touch up. If it's dent, we got Dent Tech. We actually visual on the tires, the interior, exterior, and on the purchase units, and make sure that they're going to places they need to. On the window of the vehicles, we'll date when they come in. We'll notate if it needs to go to service, S for service, a D for detail, and any specifics. So like if we know rotors are out, we'll notate rotors. If we know that AirTech, right rear quarter, front bumper, we'll notate these things. Dent, we'll notate them. If there's an interior problem or anything along that line, we'll notate that on the window also. So when it goes through the process, we're a step ahead of the game, and they already know that this needs to be done to them particular vehicles. After we make the walk and such, we come back and on the purchased vehicles, we got a little box there that we check that so we know the vehicle was on the ground and we have looked at it. And as they run the stuff through service and detail, they come back up to our book and they notate the date that the vehicle's been completed on service and the date that the vehicle's been completed on detail and the date that it hits the lot. So I can measure from the time that I either purchased a car and traded for the car to the time that car actually makes it to the lot. So there again, we went from a 2-week turn time to a 72, stretching it depending on if we bought a bunch of cars at a sale in 1 week. It might make 84 hours, but most of the time, we're pretty much dead up on a 72-hour turnaround getting our vehicles to the front line. So that process was a huge improvement. And they're actually frontline ready. Detail manager, he's responsible for it. If that car comes up, he looks at every single one of them, make sure it's ready to go before it hits the front line out there. And I got one person to go to. If I go out there and get in the car and it's not right, I know who I'm going to go talk to. I'm not going to talk to the detail guy. I'm going to talk to the detail manager. And so that's been working, exceptionally well for us. Part of the other things that we've done is through this, we got introduced to Tommy Gibbs and V-Auto, and we've implemented V-Auto and Tommy Gibbs and putting the stuff in the systems and a whole different concept of how to purchase a vehicle today. And it's a lot like managing new car inventory. You got your numbers, you got your datas, that you get through General Motors and stuff, and with the used cars, it actually gives you real-time data, real-time information that you can see how many like vehicles is on the market, whether it's a good purchase or a bad purchase. When we're appraising it, it tells us, whether we're putting, too much in it, too less in it. It's got a range for us to stay in on trading for the vehicles. It at 40 days, 35 days. And I'm not losing money on them. I'm actually either making a little money or busting or losing very little. And 3 months ago, I would never thought that was the concept or the thing to be doing. And today, it's a flip of the inventory. And so far, we've been really fortunate on getting our inventory flipped. Last month, we had a decent used car month. We did 55 units. In a down market, grosses were up because my units were fresher. And on this month here, we're sitting at about 40 units. And, we're halfway through the month. We're looking at used cars this month again. So with that, it's really getting results for us. And it's a process that we're all doing on a daily basis, and everybody's bought into it, from every Friday, 10 o'clock, all the salespeople, all the managers, they go out and do a service walk, or a used car walk, and we all go out and we walk our used car inventory, and we walk around each individual vehicle on Fridays, and whatever we see. And the best people to tell you what's wrong with them is the salespeople. Because the salespeople's in and out of the cars. They know if it's got a check engine light on it. They know if it's got a low tire. They know if it's got a steering shaft rattling on it. And immediately as soon as we go out there with them, we'll get a list of stuff that, in 5, 6, 7 vehicles that's not 100% frontline ready that, we'll get back into service, before it's set out there for 45 days and, nobody's looking at it. Get things taken care of, getting them back up front, and, get the vehicle turned. One of the other things that was introduced was through the Tommy Gibbs and V-Auto and stuff that they taught us was our sets, and we've been really successful with the sets. On our sets, one of the first ones that we got is, everybody thinks we're crazy, but it works for us, is Hummers, H3 Hummers. Here a while back, Timmy and I, we had went to the sale, and this was really before we got into the processes of Tommy's stuff. But we went up there and we bought a green Hummer, and we went out and looked at it. And my used car manager, man, he really liked the color of that vehicle and wanted it. And I said, oh, I don't know. I said, I'm not much on that color. And I thought, well, uh, maybe. So car come through shoot, and all of them was doing 19.8, $20,000, $21,000, and this green one hit the lot, and I mean it did 15.5. I'm thinking, damn, that's cheap. So I shoot over, I'll go around the car again, and I look at it, and went to 15.8. I'm thinking, all right, so I hold my hand up and I get the damn thing,